And probably it's no surprise to anyone, but that name, Partizan Belgrade, they're currently in the 11th spot. And if you remember, last year, they made a really great playoff push in the last part of the season. They were 13 and 12 until March. And this year, they were 12 and 14. It's pretty similar. And then they went 7 and 2 in their last 9 games after the domestic cup break last season, Partizan. So I looked at their schedule, and Odomas, can you put that picture? Here you have, shout out to Clutch Data _ on Twitter. This was after the domestic cup break. And you see what every team is going to play, their strength of schedule in the middle where you see those percentages. And Partizan basically have quite an average schedule remaining.
Is it, if it's less, then it's weaker teams? If it's bigger, then it's stronger teams? Is that how it works?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And as you see, Partizan's strength of schedule is 51%. They're in the 8th spot. It's quite in the middle. They have, let's say, a lot of games at home. And it's not going to be as easy. You know, they have, right now, they will face Barcelona away, Milano away, Baskonia, Real Madrid, and Olympiacos at home. And they will finish the season by playing Alba away and Valencia in their last game. And I think this can be a really interesting one because, you know, Valencia and Partizan might have the head-to-head. They might be really close. And I think they're a team to watch because, as they said, they usually play better in the last part of the season. Last year, they made this fantastic push. The games at home that they will have, the crowd will give them a huge boost, as they always do. But there's 2 games that I'm looking forward the most. There's going to be the Real Madrid game in Belgrade. And we all know that's probably the most awaited game for the season for those fans, except for the derby, and the Olympiacos. It's not the most friendly fan bases, so it's also going to be a huge game for those fans, and I think the team is going to be electric. So based on my belief that Partizan can be a little bit better than they are right now, I think they're going to make that push and be in the play-in. And although I have to say that they have quite, disappointed me, let's say this season, I think Matthias Lesor and his departure has been too big. They haven't been able to change him. His defense, rebounds, more importantly, the energy. I think he was the connector also between the fans and the team. It seems like he was the main motor of the team energy-wise. And yeah, so in that case, I'm disappointed in them. But I just think they're going to be a little bit better now that everyone is back. You know, Željko usually gets his system going in the last part of the season. The team plays much better. They have only the 8th offense in the second part of the season since the new year. I looked also into this. You know, we always talk how Partizan offense is great, first, second, or third. Right now, they're only 8th. But like as I said last year, I'm basing this on what they did last year. I'm basing this that they have everybody back right now, and based on their schedule, because a lot of these games will mean a lot from them. And away from home, where they are really bad, they're playing only Alba, and they're playing Barcelona and Milano. I think they can definitely win in Milano. They must win against Alba, and okay, Barcelona is the most difficult game here. But you know, if they can win 2 of those 3 games away, I think they're going to do their job at home. And I think they're going to make to the play-in because Valencia and Baskonia have the top 4 strongest remaining schedules. So I think Valencia or Baskonia are going to be, one of those teams are going to be out of the play-in, let's say. Do you think Partizan can make it? Donatas already said he wants because he wants the matchup with Real Madrid.
EuroLeague Mafia.
EuroLeague wants, yeah.
But do you think they can get there? What's your opinion on Partizan state recently?
I would be surprised if Partizan is not in the play-in, but the only concern, or one of the concerns that I have, you spoke about this second half of the season improvement in Partizan, or what's usual in Željko Obradovic's teams, because that was the way he was also building the team for the playoffs in Fenerbahce years and etc. The only concern is that this transition is not as smooth. Matthias Lazort is not coming through that door. Dante Exum is not there, and PJ Dozier is not as consistent as Dante was. So these small tweaks might actually be important in Partizan's chances of making noise in the playoffs. I think that they will be in the play-in, but if they're going to be able to make the same noise in the playoffs, that's, to me, compared to the last year, it's a tougher challenge for them. But of course, Željko is the playoffs coach, so he's the best in making those adjustments and to put his team in the best situation. But if team with these new faces, with these players that had to change those great players like Lazort and Exum, if they're ready to catch up with Željko and the big opponent that they're going to face in the playoffs, we'll see if it's Real Madrid or whatever. That's the question.
I think it would be great for them already to make the playoffs. As I said, they're definitely not at the level they wanted to be before the season. And seeing their position right now, playing is also tough. If you are in the 9th or 10th spot, you have to win 2 games. And one of those games have to be away. So that's tough.